How can something fictional be true? So this is our third video in a series on mythologies for our time, um, with the idea that some of our worldview assembly business, creating new guiding stories for our time, could involve borrowing from fiction, which is what I looked at for my second PhD. How can fiction be true? It's fiction. So let's have a couple of examples. In one case, mythology, there are all kinds of stories that not only have ecology coded into them, like this is the locale in this country where, let's say, kangaroos like to hang out, this is what the rivers do during the winter and things like that. That's a more literal level of truth. But mythology is also, and this includes folk tales, we could even lump in fairy tales, all under the umbrella of folklore. Folklore, including myths, gives us important truths that may not be measurable, may not be something we can calculate with, but they're truths of how we live, truths of our existence. So I'm thinking of an old Korean folktale that doesn't have a title, in which the king is repeatedly warned by various nature spirits that things are out of balance in the kingdom. And the problem is that the king doesn't speak the language of nature anymore. And when he turns to his ministers, they all lie to him. Oh, the nature spirit's saying you're a wonderful king. So the kingdom falls. So those are the kinds of truths that I mean. And let's have an example from fiction too. So in The Lord of the Rings, you might have noticed, and this is something Tolkien pointed out in his letters to fans, that it's not the powerful wizards, the great armies that win the day in Middle-earth. It's the little people. They win. So at one point, the character Elrond says, "Such is the course of deeds that move the wheels of the world. Small hands do them because they must, while the eyes of the great are elsewhere." In an interview, Tolkien said he thought that was possibly the wisest thing that was said in his series. And there were many wise things that Gandalf says, other characters too, Sam. So again, those are wisdoms that we can live, but they come to us in the form of fiction. So if you feel inspired when you're reading or watching fiction, that might be an indicator that there's an important truth, important for you, that's surfacing. So one more example. In my Lamplighter trilogy, so there are now about to be 6 books in the Assembling Terrania cycle of hopeful near future fiction. I'm about to self-publish the last one. It'll be free, by the way. It's called Dreamvale Tributes. It'll be up at my website. But in the first novel, called Soul Mapper, the protagonist wakes up about 60, 70 years from now in San Diego, and his memory's been wiped. He has no idea who he is or what he's doing there. So most of us don't go through anything like that. We don't have our memory literally wiped. But I think a lot of us can relate to one of those days where you wake up and you feel confused and things are out of kilter, and suddenly you ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? How did I get here? And then that's the beginning of a deeper inquiry. So those are the kinds of sturdy truths that fiction and mythology offer us for assembling a workable worldview.